It is time. SBR Madness, March 7th. March Madness is here. He's Maxwell Smart. I'm Drew Martin. We're going to be hitting on a bunch of small conferences, also some bigger conferences. The AAC in action tonight, some watch and win opportunities. But Max, follow him on Twitter at Maxwell Smart 420. What's up, bud? What's on your mind today?
Well, obviously, small conferences. We got some brand new tournaments starting today. We got the Ohio Valley continuing from last night. And I think that I'm just going to be salivating at the mouth and having honey dripping down my chin, getting ready to watch and bet and cash. And of course, support local strippers on these games tonight.
You're supporting local strippers just fine, man. Your bankroll's doing well of late, huh?
Yeah, it's been a good week, but those go and they come and go just as fast. So I just want to live day by day. I'll take a line from Alcoholics Anonymous, one day at a time, and let's get it going.
Hey, it's a 12-step program, man. You don't want to skip any of the steps. And I'll tell you what, you say they come and they go. I hope they go for me and they come sooner than later, man. I'm 0-3 on our best bets. Sorry to everybody out there. It's been hurting my bankroll. Hopefully you've been listening to Max a lot more than myself. I know I have in terms of best bets. But Max, we'll have bets at the end, man. But is there anything you want to get off your chest before we start kind of breaking down some of these small conference games?
No, not really. I'm actually just really excited to get into it. Obviously, I've already started the day with 4 bets, and I couldn't have called the Presbyterian Radford game any worse. I was lucky enough to remember that Trenton Claxton had messaged me that he was on the over, and I was smart enough to be able to hedge and recoup a unit of losses on the over 76 in the first half. So my hair is a little messed up from that, and but I got this Charleston Southern game going also. I got a couple bets on that. I'm looking good on the first half. And I'm ready just to break down some of these conference games because there's a lot of exciting storylines going on. And I want to make sure that all of our viewers and commenters are able to get that info today.
Yeah, okay, and we'll get right to the small conference games. In the chat box, guys already in here. We appreciate you chiming in, guys. Matt Collins saying, stay hot, Max. Maldaldo saying, Max is the truth. Guys are following you, Max. Guys are liking it. Smash that like button. Let's get that. Thank you, Sonny, for that. Jimmy the Bag in the house. What's up, buddy? Saying hello to Ron. Honey oozing. Honey oozing. I like it, PK. The honey is oozing in the strip clubs, at least if you've been following Max bets. So, Max, let's stay hot, man. Where do you want to start? In the Big South?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's hit it up.
Well, we got Hampton and Campbell. 154 the total. Looks like -3. This is the Big South. I believe Campbell is in North Carolina. Is this a conference that plays all of its games at the higher seeded team, or is this all at one location? Tell us a little bit about the Big South, man.
Yeah, no, the Big South is definitely a really competitive conference. It's had some departures and some arrivals over the last couple years, but how they work their conference tournament is the number 1 seed in the regular season will actually host the semifinals and quarterfinal games, and then the highest seed will host the championship game. So Campbell has a very good opportunity to go all the way to the finals and have home court advantage. And of course, they have the 2019 version of Allen Iverson. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, Max, you can't say that. Allen Iverson was a very special collegiate player. But if you haven't watched Chris Clemens, I don't know where the fuck you've been. So Chris Clemens is a revelation for mid-major basketball. He reminds me of Damian Lillard. He reminds me of Allen Iverson. Allen Iverson's his favorite player, and you can see how he models his game after that. He has the ball in his hand a lot. He's always willing to drive and take it to the bucket. And I think today, him being a senior, he's going to have to do that against this Hampton team because Hampton has a scoring duo of Jermaine Morrow and Kalen Fisher, who are guys that can put up a lot of points and they can hit threes. We've already seen these two teams go at it twice this year, with Hampton being able to shut down Chris Clemens and hold them under 20 points on their home floor. But then when Campbell got home and Campbell got the rematch with Hampton, well, Chris Clemens put up over 46 points. Oh, no, he put up 46 points. So that just shows the lethalness that you're going to have to contain in this game. And I don't think that on the money line I can go against Chris Clemens and Campbell. I don't think I can go against them on the spread. I'm going to be jumping on Campbell. I'm going to be jumping on the over in this game. I think because it's in Campbell's gym, I think that the pace is going to be suited more to Campbell's liking, and I think that points are going to get scored in this game. So give me the over, give me Campbell, give me some Chris Clemens, a.k.a. Allen Iverson.
All right, Campbell and the over. Chris Clemens, you're right. Next level guy at this level of basketball. He's a guy you definitely got to account for. And the -3, it does look short in my opinion too. So liking Campbell there and the over, guys. No, I was actually just opening a pen, not a bag of chips. Not snacking on the job. Don't worry about that. Steve saying, "Look at you boys, all cleaned up. Let's get it, fellas." Yeah, we are a little cleaned up today. Got the collared shirt on. Hit the like button from BK. Thank you, bud. Sacktown King. Drew is due. I hope so, man. We'll get to my games towards the latter part of the show. But we also got a game here in the A-Sun, Max. North Florida Liberty. Liberty laying doubles. This one at home, -11.5. 139.5 the total at most shops right now at SBR odds. Noah Horscher. He's UNF's leading scorer and rebounder. I believe he got suspended transferring from the school. But just last time out, 2 weeks ago, they beat Liberty, the number 2 seed. So I don't know how much to factor that in. This is kind of a tricky handicap here, Max. How do you look to bet the Ospreys and Liberty?
Yeah, definitely there's going to be revenge here for Liberty. I think Liberty's going to be angry, and Liberty's on their home floor. Obviously, this North Florida team has definitely played them tough in the 2 games, covering both spreads both times. I just think that without Noah, you're going to be missing your best rebounder, your key defender, a guy who has been very efficient and able to handle Scotty James. If you don't know who Scotty James is, I don't know what you've been doing when the low back show's been on, because every time Liberty's playing, I talk about my man crush, my non-sexual man crush on Scotty James. This guy just does it all on the basketball court. He gets up and down the floor. He's going to grab defensive rebounds. He doesn't give up on plays. His stats show it. He's a double-double machine, and he shoots close to 70% from the field. This is a team that needs to hit three-point shots, and I think that they've had some bad three-point shooting games versus North Florida team. I think it's time to make amends. They're just going to have to contain Gandia Rosa and Garrett Sams. You can't let Garrett Sams go off for three-point shots against you. But this Liberty team is based on defense and rebounding. When they rebound and they play defense, it always turns into offense. They know how to push the ball fast enough. I like the depth that they have. I like the senior leadership. I think that this Liberty team is definitely going to be a play for me on the over, and I'm going to take them on the first half.
So taking them on the first half, and what do we got at that, like -6-ish? Or is there a little bit of
Yeah, I was seeing 6 and 6.5.
Okay, so yeah, you'll be able to get it as low as 6 on Liberty on the first half. And why not the full game there, Max?
I want to see the game unfold first. I want to see how Garrett Sams is shooting. I want to see what Wahad Aminu is doing on the offensive glass. He's going to be dependent on a lot against this Liberty stout defense. Remember, they play pack line defense, and they only allow about 62 points a game. So you got to be aware of this. They need front court help. Otherwise, this is a very guard-oriented team that is going to be dependent on the three-point shot.
Max, first of all, we got Rusty Shackelford, your favorite name in here, the porn star-esque name. Rusty, welcome in, man. What's cracking, guys? You see, you're way more of a half better, like first half, second half better than I am. I'm usually just full game all the way, side or total. But what are some of the advantages you see in betting the first half of these college basketball games? Is it the point where you get to kind of regroup at halftime, see the game, and bet it again? Or do you think that there's actual advantages in just laying like 6 like you just said, with Liberty rather than the 11.5 for full game.
With Liberty specifically, it's worked for me in conference season because they haven't been profitable full game. They have coughed up a lot of covers, so that's just something that I look to do with Liberty at home specifically. But in general, I think that college basketball is just too often a tale of two halves. Many years I've been betting college basketball, close to 15 years, and over that 15 years, what I've seen every year, no matter what month it is, no matter what conference it is, no matter how big a favorite it is, teams are playing tales of two halves, where they come out strong or they come out lackadaisic, and then it's just a complete turnaround in the second half. I'm done getting beat by that. It's something I've lost thousands of dollars to in my life, and I've just adapted over the last couple years to start to focus on stats that are related to first half and second half.
Well said, Max. That makes a lot of sense as far as first half, second half betting goes. I just haven't gotten there as far as incorporating it in a lot of my handicapping. Just I don't know, man. It's still the -110. It makes a lot of sense. I just haven't gotten there. We got Troy in the house. Sakrahar saying hi, Max. Hi, Drew. What's up, guys? We'll open it up to the chat box as far as games you're looking at. A lot of guys talking about this Cincinnati game, UCF, also UConn Temple. Those are on the board to do here in a little bit. We're going to hit some of the small games first and then get to some of the AAC games, the televised games on ESPN. But we got 655, 656 up next, rotation number in the OVC, Max. Morehead State versus Austin Peay. Austin Peay is always a funny name for me. I never really bet them, but 149 being the total, 149 total here. High total, -9. That's Austin Peay laying as the home team.
Yeah, this is going to be a real dangerous game for Morehead State, having played 24 hours ago, but they're going to really have to depend on 6-foot Jordan Walker to be able to score the ball, hit threes, and be able to get on the defensive glass. I know that's a lot to ask, even wanting rebounds from a 6-foot guard, but this is a guy who's able to get into tight spaces, and he seems to just get his hands on the ball. So I think that's going to be really important. Malik Green, who I talked about yesterday as being a key player for Morehead State, was very good last night. He was 10 for 12. He had 23 points and 8 rebounds and 2 blocks. I think he's going to need to carry over that game because you're going up against a guy on Austin Peay named Terry Taylor who can go the fuck off. We've seen this guy already put up multiple 30 and a couple 40-point games. And when it comes to Austin Peay, it's just about two things. Is Terry pumping? And are they scoring the ball? When this team is scoring 78 to 84 points a game, they are a hard team to cover spreads against, and they're a hard team to contain. I think that you're going to really need Jabrari McGee on the glass and shooting efficiently. Yeah, we got that in their last game, but we're going to need a carryover on a neutral court where they're not going to have this home court advantage, where they just seem to play a lot more fluidly and just function a lot more better. For Austin Peay, obviously it comes down to defense, and this is where I think that they're going to have the bigger advantage. I think they shoot the ball better than Morehead State. The fact that they're shooting close to 40% from three, 45% from the field, that screams to me that maybe I should be getting on the over in this game. But what I've seen from the line is it's go from 159 to 149. Morehead State couldn't get over 147 yesterday. So I'm leaning towards possibly a first half under in this game. And then if I see that first half under is going to lose, I would hedge with a second half over if it's a closer game. But as far as the side, I'm going to give Morehead State another chance tonight. I think that this is a lot of points. I know that they could easily get blown out of the water, but like I said, Austin Peay isn't on their home court. And I think that if Jordan Walker can go off and you get a similar performance from Malik Green, they can stay within 10 points.
And we're seeing some movement in this market at SBR right now. It opened up 8, Austin Peay up to 9. And also the market agreed with you on this total from 151.5 down to about 148, at least at Pinnacle right now. So 3-point line movement in the total towards the under. That's a sizable move here. So you think this is kind of like market wide what they're seeing in this total, or it's not injury related or anything like that, is it, Max?
No, nothing that I've read or watched today is say that it's injury related. With this being an OVC game and this not being a publicly bet game, it just leaves me to believe that someone has a big edge and they laid a big bet on it.
In OVC games, they're not boarded throughout the season, are they? Or they do have all the lines up on all the OVC games?
Yeah, they're boarded during the season. They're not on the added game list.
So it's the Alabama states and the Grambling states, Southern University, Prairie View, A&M. Are all of those boarded during the season too? You bet all those?
Yeah, I bet them, but they're added games, so they come out later unless you're betting somewhere offshore like 5 dimes, which I recently had to get an account because I have to play totals at night before they move because of sharp movement.
Yeah, 5 dimes still charges minus 120 on that, right? As far as those added games that aren't boarded?
Yeah, they do. But it's worth it to beat a 3 or 4 or 5 point line movement, because on some of these smaller conference games like the Southland or the Patriot or the MEAC even, you can really get some big edges, and all you're having to do is pay that extra 10 cents. So it's worth it to me.
Yeah, in the overnight moves for sure. He's Maxwell Smart on Twitter at Maxwell Smart 420. You want to do one more small conference and then hit big ones, or you want to run through them all? What are you thinking about doing, Max?
No, Drew, let's give the people what they want. I see in the chat that they want to talk about some of the bigger games. Let's do one more little one, and then let's go into some of the more popular public games.
Let's do it, man. Hey, let's go out west. Let's give them a little get-back game. 9 p.m. Eastern tip. Pacific Pepperdine in the WCC. Tell us a little bit about the WCC, like where the home courts are. Is it the highest seed or all at one place? We got 139.5 being the total, and it looks like Pepperdine laying 1.5. It's also a pick'em right now at Pinnacle. Some opinion in this market as far as which way to bet Pacific and Pepperdine, Max.
Yeah, this is a neutral court tournament. I'm pretty sure that it's in Vegas. I think that this is a really interesting matchup to have as your opening game in the WCC tournament in a year that a lot of teams thought that they'd be able to challenge Gonzaga, which has not been the case as we've seen recently. This Pacific and Pepperdine matchup is specifically interesting because this is the last game that they played. They played on March 2nd, and it was a very close game. So I'm actually looking to see I'm actually looking to get on the over in this game. I think the fact that they have so much recent familiarity is going to bode well, because they did have a slow scoring first half and then really picked it up in the second. So I think that's going to be able to carry on. And when I'm seeing a number under 140 involving Pepperdine and the defense that they play, because let's not forget, recently they're playing 52% field goal defense. That is terrible. Even a team like Pacific, who doesn't average 60 points a game in conference, is going to be able to score against that. So my other reason why I like this over in this Pacific Pepperdine game is the fact that Pepperdine has the breakout game-changing scorer in Colby Ross. He also has a Robin to his Batman in Cameron Edwards. So I think that this team hits free throws. That's a big thing for me. 86% from the line. And I think that they're going to be able to score enough points versus this Pacific defense. I think that they're going to be able to be scored upon. And when you give me a team like Pacific, who is coached by Damon Stoudemire, a former Raptor, who gave me an autograph when he was having lunch at the Toronto's Eaton Center, I just can't bet on this team on the side. I'm just going to take this game on the over. I'm going to trust that both these teams play some loose defense and that they can score against each other and that they're happy to be in a tournament, because frankly, I don't think either of them belong in it.
So you got an autograph from him and there was no issues. He was a really nice guy the whole time?
He wasn't a nice guy, but he gave me the autograph.
Okay. Well, hey, that's a reason to make the bet there. You know who I ran into yesterday outside of Ash Wednesday Church? What Brady Quinn Dude, that guy is like 6'5", dude, he was a monster out there. The old quarterback for Notre Dame. Do you remember him, Max?
Yeah, he was a Cleveland Brown. I remember him.
Not a big fan of him.
NFL wise, no, but I'm a fan of all collegiate quarterbacks because it takes some fucking brass balls and something wrong in your head to freaking line up as a quarterback and know that there's 11 guys coming to fucking knock you on your ass.
Yeah, no, I just thought it was interesting. Who's the most famous person you've run into in real life?
Probably Drake.
Oh, damn, that's pretty damn famous. How was Drake?
Well, I went to high school with him first off, so when I knew him, we used to make fun of him because he was on Degrassi. Be like, Jimmy, where's your fucking wheelchair? Because he used to cruise around in a Jeep Cherokee, and he was in a program that was for creative artistic students, so he didn't really have any street cred back then. And then I've ran into him a couple times because I work some parties for his production company, and he comes and does what's it called? Freestyle battles at a couple places that I used to work. So back before he was incredibly famous like he is now, he was just Jimmy in the wheelchair. So that's how I look at him. I don't even like calling him Drake. I like calling him Aubrey.
Aubrey. That's kind of, it almost sounds demeaning. But hey, Tomar's saying Brady Quinn was only good at Notre Dame because he had 2 NFL caliber receivers, Smarter and Michael Floyd. I don't disagree with you, Tomar. I'm not saying he was all that, but it was just interesting to run into him and see, like, dude, that guy's a real 6'5" and jacked. He was towering over me. It was just kind of surprising. But let's give the people what they want, Max. AAC battle, Connecticut, Temple. This is a competitively lined game here. It's the top of the board. Game number 603, 604, 7 p.m. Eastern tip, just under 4 hours away. 140.5 being the total. We got Connecticut laying -1 at home. Jalen Adams, I believe, is still out. Since the point guard issue has happened with UConn, they've slowed the pace. Have really, their unders have hit at a astronomical amount the last couple games. Mark it onto it. 145 being the total at the opener. 5 full points towards the under on this move on the total. As far as the side goes, not much movement. Still 1 or 1.5. UConn laying at home. I think the under's the play here, Max. I bet it already. Even at this number, I still like it. Temple's a good team, good guard play, a team that I think can make a run in late March. But I don't think there's enough there to get enough points to push this game over. I think it will be slow paced. I like the under. As far as the side, not much on it. But how do you view Temple UConn tonight?
Well, Drew, I just have to let you know this is a very fashionable UConn Husky hat. Obviously not UConn Husky colors, but I like a little bit of red in my wardrobe. So I had to get this very nice UConn Husky hat. And I've been down on my Huskies. I've been thinking that they're some cock soup slurping sons of bitches who just want to rob me blind and give my money to my books. And that's what they've been doing when it comes to sides. Tonight, I'm going back to my UConn Huskies. I'm a homer. I love my Nevada Wolfpack. I love my UConn Huskies, and I can't get enough of it even if they lose for me. But I think tonight, Fran Dunphy, this is his last game at UConn. I think that the UConn faithful is going to send him out on a loss. I think that this team is going to be better without Jalen Adams because I'm not a fan of Jalen Adams. He has no heart. He has no fucking anger. He just wants to smile and be okay. He's a shrug your shoulders type of player, and I don't need that. I got a real player. His name's Christian Vitale. He's going to show Temple why he is the lead guard now without Jalen in the lineup, and he's going to make me look good. He's going to cash me a ticket. So I'm taking UConn money line. Christian Vitale is going to cash it for me, and I agree with the under. I like the fact that this team has really slowed it down, trying to cut down on the three-point shots, really trying to use that front court and get these guys to give some sort of production because that's something that's been missing for 3 years at UConn. So I think tonight with Temple coming in, this is a team that they can beat at home. This is a team that has had trouble on the road. Give me UConn money line and let me get a piece of that under, because I don't care that the number went down 5 points. I'm still jumping on it.
Yeah, I like the under as well. Max, your hat's a little confusing though, because it's almost like Temple colors, but you're saying it's a UConn hat.
Oh, this is a UConn hat. That's what it is. UConn, baby. That's all. That's how I wear it. I don't care about the team colors. I just care about the name on it. And when people see me walking wearing this hat, what do they see in the back of my head? UConn.
UConn, the Huskies, in Stores, Connecticut. Where do we want to go from here? Do we want to touch the UCF game, Max?
Yeah, definitely. Let's touch it. It's going to be a real entertaining game, and I already have a play on it thanks to the great Noli Knows who makes unders great again. So that gives you a good hint on what I'm doing on this game.
Well, it's only lined at 125, UCF -2.5 at home. I'll tell you a couple stats here. Cincinnati, 25 of their last 32 road games have fallen under the total. We know Cincinnati, great defense. It's showing even on the road. Last 4 meetings between these two teams have all fallen under the total of 125. It's kind of a philosophy that I've incorporated into my betting. When totals get to about the 125 level and below, watch out. Don't just bet it over because it's that low for a reason. The odds makers are telling you something, and this is going to be a low possession game, long possession. Cincinnati and UCF can both play great defense. I think Cincinnati in particular is a good team to bet in March Madness, just because their defense is a little tricky for their opponents to kind of prepare for. In conference, I guess it's a little easier because they play them more, but out of conference, I think that should help Cincinnati a lot in the March Madness tournament. So I would actually look towards Cincinnati. I haven't bet it. It definitely can be talked off of it, but if you made me bet this, I would be on the under, Max. How do you view the Bearcats and Knights tonight?
Yeah, I think that this is a really good spot for Cincinnati to finally show that when they're not laying chalk, they're a team that you want to get on. I think that Cincinnati's a live dog tonight. I think that we've really seen finally the emergence of that piece of shit Kane Broome from Sacred Heart. He finally hit some game-winning shots and some shots that mattered for this team after a year and a half of doing freaking dick all. So fuck Kane Broome, but I think that the Cincinnati team is just going to find their legs tonight. They're going to be able to get into the type of game that Mick Cronin preaches and always wants, and that they practice for. And I think that this is a team that can score better than most and past Cincinnati teams that we're accustomed to. So I think that Cincinnati, you want to give me some points with them. I think that they can go into UCF. I think that they can cover 3 points or 2.5 points. And I think that this game is going to be somewhere in the 50s.
So you like Cincinnati as a side. Have you bet it?
Yeah. No, I have not bet it yet. I'll say that right now. But I have bet the under. Okay.
We got Ron saying Cincinnati basking in 75-degree Florida sunshine will get fried tonight by the Knights. That's always an interesting handicap. I've asked a couple guys this, kind of differing opinions. When cold weather teams travel to warm weather teams, do you bring that into the handicap at all, as far as their focus, kind of almost like the Hawaii travel? Maybe not to that level, but do you think there's anything to that handicap?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of teams go down to Florida and play better. Howard, New Jersey Institute of Technology. Those are 2 teams that do that right there. And I think that Cincinnati, with the winter that the Northeast has had, or like the Midwest, I think that they'll be salivating to get out of freaking Ohio. I'd be salivating to get out of Ohio. So you want to give me a game in Orlando? Fuck yeah, I'll be ready to play. I'll be ready to have a good time, because they know if they win this game, coaching staff's going to be nicer to them. They may get to go to freaking Applebee's. So I see Cincinnati winning this game.
Applebee's is money, man. I'm a big fan of Applebee's. As far as that kind of restaurant goes, are you an Applebee's fan, Max?
If there was an Applebee's in Canada, I would go to it. I just know from watching a lot of these teams' social media sites where they go and have their victory dinners, and Applebee's is constantly coming up in them.
Max, what about some good tidbits on where strippers go after work to eat?
Strippers go, I think they go home mostly. I think that they're already so tired that it's like, why the hell am I going to go out? So some dude can hit on me when I'm not making any money for it. So I think that most of them just go home at the time of night that it is. They're not looking to go party and club out because by that time it's already 5 or 6 in the morning.
What about what percentage, if you just had to say off the top of your head, of strippers are in a committed relationship?
I'd probably say 40% of them. A lot of guys like the idea at first of going out with a stripper or banging a stripper, but then after a while, when they realize how grimy and how like what hustlers they actually are, they think twice.
So you use the word grimy with strippers in Hustler. I mean, there's got to be some good girls, like you said, Mandy, that's studying for to be a doctor of some sort, and she's a stripper, just kind of paying her way through college. She doesn't sound too grimy, in my opinion.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that, well, she may not be grimy to you, but she may be grimy to someone else. She's just like everyone else. Obviously, she's there to make money. And if she sees an opportunity to make an extra buck or two or 100 or 200 bucks, those girls, no matter what their morals or ethics, they're going to take that money.
I think guys are liking this conversation. Dustin saying Applebee's has unlimited chicken tender deal. That would make them go to Applebee's, no, Max?
Well, if I can get unlimited chicken tenders, yeah. If I can get unlimited chicken wings, if I can get unlimited chicken anywhere, I'm going it. And I've just been advised by my fellow Torontonian childhood friend, Matt Mado, a fabulous tennis capper and NBA capper, all around capper, has told me there is an Applebee's in Ajax, which is about 45 minutes away from me. So I will be going to an Applebee's sometime soon because there is one in Canada.
Nice. Yeah, I definitely recommend Applebee's. Also, Waffle House. A lot of guys chiming in with Waffle House. So I'm a big fan of Waffle House, and it's pretty cheap. Late night munchies are definitely a good thing at Waffle House. We got Ron asking a question for you, Max. What percentage of strippers are lesbians?
I would say more that servers are going to be LGBT. I find that more like stage dancers or girls that are going to the private rooms, they're the majority of them are hetero.
That makes sense. So like the girls serving the drinks outside because they can always be looking at naked chicks, so they would be lesbians.
Yeah, and also you're not going to get a lot of groping that you're going to get from girls that are trying to get you to go into a private room.
Okay. Is there any sex in the champagne room?
No, but there's definitely sex afterwards. I think that there's a lot of guys that are able to convince these girls, be like, well, here's $1,000. I just want to fuck you for 5 minutes. So I think a lot of that is going down, but that's just that's what the game is, you know? You're making money, you're making money off what you got and what you look like. So can't hate on it.
Oh, I'm not hating. I love getting the inside scoop, man. Good stuff, bud. Drew, this Vegas trying things that late. Oh man, tough to keep up with the chat box in some of these conversations, man. Strippers in Africa love K. Drew, ever been a stripper? Got a lap dance? Of course, I've been there. Yeah, I'm a big fan of strip clubs. Like Max says, I think strip clubs are a good time, but you got to watch yourself. Your life can go kind of down the drain if you go there too much, spend too much of your money, you got to watch out. But if you stick to the chicken tenders, couple beers, have a good time with your buddies, that's a good time. Max, let's get back to the college basketball. We got SMU Houston 134. Houston minus doubles at home. Houston's a team. They had that loss recently to UCF. I think that this is a team I'm looking to bet on down the stretch. Haven't bet them yet tonight. It's kind of a big number, but would you look to be betting Houston tonight in this AAC matchup?
Yeah, I'm looking actually to bet Houston pretty simply, a half unit on the first half and a half unit on the full game. I just think that this Houston team's going to be on a mission tonight. I think that they're just not going to take any prisoners. I think we're going to see a 57, a 55 type of a 57-55 point defensive performance from this Houston team. They just have everything going really well right now. Fabian White is getting better and better each game. You got two guys off the bench in the Professor Nate Hinton and Dijon Giroux, who are just really good energy, bring good length. They can score the ball and they can play defense. That's what this Houston team is predicated on. This is a Calvin Sampson basketball team. He finally has a roster that fits the type of coaching that he is best at, and we're seeing the fruits of his labor. And I'm going to get on the train tonight. The UCF game was a tough game. This is a much different opponent. I think that they're going to take him to the cock soup slaughterhouse, and they are going to
I like it, man. I like Houston in this. This is a good profile to bet. It's just bounce back material. Hopefully, like my best bet tonight. But I'm with you. I think Houston's the side here, and I wouldn't be too scared to lay a number. We got another big one in the Big Ten: Iowa, Wisconsin. Two teams this is an Iowa team. I bet against them a bunch now. They've lost 2 straight to Iowa State and Rutgers. This Wisconsin team, though, they're an interesting handicap just because of the free throw shooting isn't necessarily there. I don't like to, their best player can't make free throws. It's kind of awkward down the stretch if it's, a 4 or 5 point game. It's tough to be back in the Badgers. But you got any opinion here on this Big Ten game, Iowa, Wisconsin, Max?
Yeah, no, this is a play that I've already jumped on, courtesy of the great Noli Knows, who makes unders great again. I'm on the under in this game. I got 140 and a half. I think that Iowa's going to definitely have a little bit of trouble scoring against this Wisconsin defense. I think that the pace is going to be a little slower. I look for Iowa to try and take advantage of trying to switch defenses on the Wisconsin guards and maybe catch them off guard until they adapt to that. But I think that you're just going to have to play with Ethan Happ on the floor. You're going to have to figure out how to win with him in late game situations because he is just not doing anybody a service when he's sitting on the bench. Don't get me wrong. I think that Nate Ruvers is going to be a very good Big Ten big man. He's 6'11". He needs to definitely put on some freaking muscle, but I think that's going to come. And the fact is, Ethan Happ is the most dominant big man in the Big Ten. You have to find a way to get him on the floor. I don't know what they're doing. The coaching staff's been doing the last 3 years. They haven't worked out this free throw issue. This is something that needs to get fixed. I don't understand why it's an issue still in his senior year. So I'm not looking to get on a side in this game. This is something I'm looking to get on live. If Wisconsin gets down to Iowa early, I will jump on Wisconsin on the live money line. Otherwise, I'm staying just on the under and gonna just watch and wait. This is a game that could start the scoring could start fast early. Look out for the live total, and if you can get somewhere in the 150 152 range, I would be jumping on the under regardless of what you've just seen.
Okay. We also got Tomar saying I'm on Iowa senior night for Happ and Wisconsin, but Iowa has the size to cover Happ. It's an interesting angle there because Iowa is not very athletic. I'm not saying Wisconsin is the most athletic team, but it's an interesting, dynamic of who's going to kind of control the pace, control the game from that standpoint. And, it is senior night. So we've talked about this before. Do you think senior night tonight has any impact on the outcome of the game?
Yeah, I think that senior night's going to have an impact on this game because of who's a senior. That's why it's a case-by-case basis. You have to look at what the pregame ceremony is going to be, if they're going to have it after the game. I love when teams have these ceremonies after the game. Let's take care of business, then let's freaking stroke each other off. But I think that this first half is going to be very telling of how you should play it full game, because we've seen in these home games for senior night where they come out slow or they come out fast. I think that Wisconsin's going to personally come out slow tonight, and I think that they're going to have to mount a comeback.
We got a bunch of guys here, Max, asking about this St. Peter's Marist game. It's starting here soon. Tournament game, 5 p.m. Eastern, just about an hour away. 121 being the total, and Marist laying 2.5. This St. Peter's team, you know, I've seen them play a couple times. I don't think they're a very good team. I mean, in a competitively priced game, I don't really know anything about Marist, but I wouldn't look to be betting on St. Peter's. Do you got any opinion in this game?
Yeah, I'm definitely looking to get on the over in this game. It's just too low of a number even for me to try and lay off. Obviously, we can see a stinker from both these teams and see it finish in the mid 50s. But I think that with Devontae Turner in a tournament scenario, I think that he's going to be able to get his shot off against this Marist team. I think that Marist obviously relies a lot on the three-point shot. They're a three-point oriented team. I think that they need to make threes, and I think that they will be able to against the St. Peter defense. St. Peter's is always a team that I'm more interested in backing on the money line at home. I agree that they do have some value today, and I will shout out a fellow low bagger, David H., who is on St. Peter's, and I'm simply going to join him on the first half. I'm not going to get on full game. I'm going to get on St. Peter's first half, and I'm going to take my time with watching this game, because what I've seen from Marist is sometimes even though they fall behind in the first half, they have a lot of trouble coming back. And if St. Peter's is hot early, that only benefits my over, and then it helps me cash the first half, and then I can worry and make a new analysis based on what I've seen in the first 20 minutes.
Good stuff, Max. We also got Tomar saying Hap has to play. Even with his foul shooting, he's their best player by far. I agree with you, Tomar. It's crazy that a situation like this, as talented as he is on the offensive end of the floor, that it's obviously a head issue. It's just in his head. Like Max said, it's inexplainable. Also, guys, like in your stroking comment, in a joke way, Sash saying no stroking. That was a pretty funny state. We got Illinois State ? Yeah, Illinois State was one of the teams you wanted to talk about, right, Max? We get they're hosting Evansville, 135.5 the total. Illinois State, you know, this isn't the same Illinois State team as years past, but they're still having to lay 5 here, the more talented team. How would you look to bet this one?
Yeah, this is going to be the last game of the night for the MVC Arch Madness, coming to you from the great city of St. Louis, Missouri. And I'm very excited to watch this tournament. This is a tournament that has a lot of parity, and I'm telling you, an underdog is going to win on the futures for this tournament. Illinois State is definitely built for the postseason. They got senior leadership. They got multiple level scoring, and guys like Malik Yarbrough, who can hit a three, drive, hit a free throw. Phil Fain, who's a beast down low. He's going to be a boatload to handle for everybody on Evansville. And what we've seen in the 2 games that these teams have played is that Evansville definitely has problems dealing with the fact that this team has some decent guards. Illinois State with Zach Copeland, Keyshawn Evans sometimes. They're just missing Josh Jefferson, and this is a guy that I think that they really need. I think Illinois State obviously thrives on playing these low-scoring rock fights that are just great for unders. I'm looking to get on this game on the full game under for half a unit, and I'm looking to back Illinois State. I think that this is a team that has gone on the road and covered numbers like this before. I think that we've seen a shell of what they actually are capable of, and I think that they show up tonight and they really put a stamp on, well, regular season's over. You saw what you saw then. It's a brand new slate. It's 0-0. Let's do it. Let's freaking get ready for a tournament run, because that's what I think that this team's going to do. You give me them 5 points on the spread, I'll take that also. I'm going to go with the more talented team and the team that I know will be able to score the ball more consistently with the other team's defense.
Low-scoring rock fight. I like the analogy there. We got 141, 142, Max. Boston and Colgate, another small schools conference game. 143 being the total. Colgate laying 9. Tell us a little bit about this tournament. This is a home game for Colgate, right?
Yeah, this is the Patriot League tournament, so it is a home game for Colgate. Colgate's definitely going to need a fast start versus this Boston University team. They've already played them in one game, fell behind by 10, and had to come back in the second half. That's not ideal for this team. They need Jordan Burns to find his shot. Ever since he came back from this knee injury, he just has not been the Jordan Burns that we saw before. We need his guard play. We need him to be a good floor general. This is your starting point guard. You need him at his best going up against a guy like Devontae McCoy. And you have to remember that this Boston University team, they really handled Loyola, Maryland the other night, and Max Mahoney and Tyler Scanlon, they were at the center of that. So I think that it's going to be a really front court battle, front court heavy game, because we know what Colgate's strength is their front court with Dana Batten, Will Raymond, and Rapolis Ivanauskas, the transfer from Northwestern, who has finally reached his potential in the Patriot League. So the way that I'm looking to play this game is I'm looking to get on the over. I think that both these teams are going to be able to hit enough free throws. Boston University definitely has had their trouble hitting free throws. The last 5 games are only shooting 61%, but they have been able to hit their free throws in their games versus Colgate. So you want to give me a team that is also creating turnovers, and Colgate with 7.4 steals a game, that's going to lead to fast breaks, that's going to lead to fouls, that's going to lead to scoring with the clock stopped. And for an over, that's an over's best friend. So I'm taking the over in this game, and I'm taking Colgate. I think that they're good on the first half for half a unit, and I think that Boston University is going to be able to make adjustments. And Max Mahoney, not just because he has a great name named Max, I'm getting on them full game.
Great breakdown there. I like the clock stoppage as well, and using that in your over bet. We got one more Patriot League game here. We got American versus Navy. I'll tell you, these are two teams, tough to say good teams. Americans lost, 4 of their last 6 down the stretch, and Navy just 11-18 on the year. We got Navy catching 8, 137 the total. How would you look to bet this Patriot League game?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this American team. I borderline love them. I think that I need some of their gear. But yeah, this is a team where Saeed Nelson is going to have to drive the ball. This is a guy that can hit 3-point shots at opportune times, but I'm very impressed with him and when he puts his head down and takes it to the bucket. There's a lot of guys on this American team that can do that. There's Jacob Bouyansith, who's a freshman who we're going to be able to see next year. It's going to make a big impact. Not only has he been a 3-point specialist, he's also been not afraid to take it to the bucket, and teams just aren't expecting it. So I think that's going to be real important for American to get going tonight. And of course, now that they have Stacey Becton moved to the starting lineup, I think that Stacey Becton needs to make layups. That's what I've seen him miss in the last couple games. He has to make layups. He has to make the easy shots. I'm okay with him missing 3-point shots. I'm okay missing him high degree of difficulty shots. But when he's missing these gimmies, it's going to fucking make me lose my hair. So the way that I'm playing this game is I'm playing Navy on the full game. I'm worried about laying this type of number with American being how they played when they're a favorite. When they're a dog, that's a different story. I understand that they do play a lot better at home. I just don't trust them with this type of number. What my stronger play is actually the over. I've already laid it. I believe I got 136.5. I'll have to double check that. But now at 137, I would still jump in, and I think I'm going to double up on it.
Okay, that makes sense. And guys, appreciate the love in the chat box. If you could hit the like button, that would help us out a lot. Want to get up and over the 100 likes. Appreciate you guys tuning in and letting us know what you're thinking in the chat box. Just got a couple more minutes, Max, before we get to best bets. Anything you want to throw out as far as small conference college basketball?
Yeah, there's actually just one game that I want to jump on and give a couple plays on, and it's going back to my favorite conference, the Patriot League. So Bucknell has a point guard. His name's Kimball McKenzie. He's just from down the 401 in Oakville. And I think that this Bucknell team needs to have a good game versus Holy Cross team. They are having an orange out tonight, so I am looking to get on Bucknell in the first half. This is a Bucknell team that you would think are lighting up the scoreboard and winning games with offense, but that's not the case. They're allowing only 69 points a game, and that's 7 points better than Holy Cross. They're playing 38% three-point defense, but Holy Cross is playing 46%. So this is a team also I trust at the line. When you got a dominant big man like Nate Sestina, and then you have solid core guys like Ami Toomer and Bruce Moore, it just gives me confidence, especially with a loud and ruckus crowd that I think that we're going to get from Bucknell tonight. I think that they're going to end this little run that Holy Cross is going on. Holy Cross is just playing bad defense. 49% defense from the field. Opponents are shooting volumes of threes against them, and that's what Bucknell's going to do tonight. Bucknell's going to put up threes. If you can't get Jahivi Floyd going tonight and you get him in foul trouble, you can really put this Holy Cross team at a disadvantage. I think Bucknell's worth a shot in the first half, but my stronger play is going to be the over 139.5 full game.
Boom. Like in the over full game. I like it in the Bucknell game. Max, what about anything else top of mind you want to get off your chest before we head to best bets, man?
Yeah, no, I definitely just want to thank everybody that's been coming in. I've seen 288, 292 live viewers. I appreciate every single one of you. You guys make my goddamn day every time you come in the middle of the goddamn afternoon or early afternoon on the West Coast, and you're able to freaking hang out with us, chat in the freaking comment in the chat box, and freaking contribute. This is a team effort. What we're doing here, what we're trying to start here, me and Drew and SBR and all the great staff that they have there, is to make something that we can continue next year and that we can make money on. So I'm really happy how this is going, and I'm really happy that there's so many of you guys, so many fellow low baggers that are in here with us. So I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I second that. Thank you, Max. Thank you, everyone out there. I just love looking at the chat box, seeing everybody's comments. A lot of them funny, a lot of them who you're betting and why. Some really good opinions out there. It's always just fun to kind of go at this as like a unit, all in one. So it's great stuff. Paco Healy, what's up, buddy? Dom Ritchie, always in here. Dom the Don, great work from you as well, man. We appreciate all the love, guys. So thank you, and thank you for hitting the like button. We are over 100, triple digits on that. That's always a good thing. So thank you, guys. And like Max said, in the middle of your afternoon, whether you're sneaking off in work or just chilling on the couch, enjoying a little early 420 action, all is welcome. We really appreciate it. So Max, let's get to best bets. Let's get them with a 2-0, man. I know you've been doing your part. I'm the guy that needs to step it up a little bit. I'll go first to change it up, wearing the collar, changing something up. 0-3 to date, so feel free to fade away. You won't hurt my feelings. But like Max said, I wanted to do the UConn under, but it's moved 5 points. I'm changing it up. I'm going to the Big Ten. There's still a 140 out there at 5 dimes. I'm going under in the Iowa-Wisconsin game for my best bet, and the reason being Wisconsin's slow pace at home senior night. Not that senior night matters that much in this, but they are the home team. I think they're as talented as Iowa, therefore should be able to control the pace enough to make it shorter possessions, the longer possessions. They're a 300 team in terms of tempo, and they're going to get the ball down to Ethan Happ. Hopefully that chews up a lot of clock. And their three-point defense is one of the better defenses in the country. Therefore, going against Iowa's offensive three-point shooting, I like that. They'll be able to hold the Hawkeyes' three-point shooting at bay. That's why I made the bet. Under 140 in Iowa, Wisconsin for my best bet. Max, follow him on Twitter at MaxwellSmart420. What do you got for best bets, bud?
Well, first off, Drew, I'm joining you on your best bet because you're my teammate. We're a team. We win together or we lose together. That's how a volume guy goes. I am with you 100%. We're going to cash this motherfucker. We're going to support local strippers with your best bet. Chicken tenders will be bought by the Uber Eats truckload, okay? That's what's going to happen tonight. My best bet is going to be something that we just talked about. American over 137. This is a team American that is going to drive the ball. They're going to hit threes, but they're going to get to the line. They're going to score efficiently. I like the front court. I like the rebounding for American. And Navy. Navy has guys. John Carter Jr., Hassan Abdullah, George Kiernan, Cam Davis running the show. What you're going to see tonight is you're going to see both these teams go up and down. It may not be pretty, but they will get over this total. 137. Best bet, SBR Madness. I'm Maxwell Smart. He's Drew Martin. We're going to go 2-0 tonight for you guys.
Boom. Drew Smart, Drew Martin, whatever you want to call me, under Wisconsin, Iowa, 140. He's Maxwell Smart. He is on the over in the Navy American game. We need a 2-0. Please be a 1-1. I need a win. I need to get it off. I don't know. I can't sleep at night. I don't know what else to say, Max. Great show, man. Hopefully we go 2-0. Thank you to everybody out there. Kylie, Dom, Jay Peach, everyone out there. Ron, Rusty Shackleford, Jewish sex learner, if you're out there. Thank you to everyone. Thanks for the lights, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Best of luck with your bets tonight. For Max, I'm Drew. We'll talk to you tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern. Peace.